G'day Husky people, going to do the Akrapovic Racing Exhaust Map upgrade, or sometimes known as Map 3 for the 449 511 models. This is the good old girl here, my 449. Going to be doing it a little bit differently today in that member Mark has sent me his ECU. Now his bike is also a white frame 2011 model. The later 2012 onwards black frame bikes don't have the ignition switch and they have some wiring changes, so I'm fairly safe here adding the map to his ECU. Now his is a 511, mine's a 449, and we can tell here by this VIN number the 601 is 511, and if you go back through the Husqvarna workshop manual, it lists all VIN number types. 600 is the 449, 601 is the 511, so I'll be uploading the 511 Akrapovic Racing Map to his bike. So what that means is I've got my ignition off, powered down, pull the seat out, and I'll remove my own ECU, disconnect the plug his in, load the map as though it was his bike, and then refit my ECU later. Here's our data port for connecting to the TuneEcu system to upload, and that's the original factory jump plug to put it in Race Map 2. Now, to answer a lot of questions, it gets asked a lot, what happens when you put the Acro map in the computer? Does anything change on the dash? No. Mine already has the Akrapovic map loaded in it. You can see here when the dash comes up eventually, it'll show Race Map 2 when the engine runs. Yes, of course, when the engine starts it shows Race Map 2, so it doesn't read Race Map 3. Really the only way you can tell is by connecting with either the dealer tool, the HST from Husqvarna, or the TuneEcu system, and looking at the map file name. That will be the only way that you can tell once it's done. So I'll be back in a minute. I'll connect up my, I have an Android phone, so I'll connect up my TuneEcu cable set, which is this unit here. So we have this silver cable and this OBD2 connector from Lonelec. For my phone it's a USB-A connector here, the normal large USB like on a computer or laptop, and my phone is a USB-C. So some have USB micro, depends on your device. And then at the other end here we need to go from OBD2 to the 6-pin Husqvarna port with some wiring inside. Now we had a member that was able to do those for us and he's done a great job, but he's very busy at the moment with his work and unable to help us out, so we're just going through where we can, another guy might be able to do them for us, and we should have them available again. So yeah, as I said, Lonelec in the UK, they're the preferred cable as recommended by the TuneEcu site, and that's working very well, but we do need to still adapt to the bike from there, from the OBD2 onward. But yeah, this is my setup, and I'll have that connected in a sec and come back to you in a minute. So I've been into my TuneEcu app and looked in maps and opened the files. You can see here parent directory. If I scroll through down to TuneEcu, I open that and I go into logs. My only file is this E60B file, which, having looked through the VIN numbers and the TuneEcu app, the E60 is for the 449 in Australia. I want the E61 file, so I'll cancel that, and what I will do now is connect to the computer and save the map, the E61 map, into that logs folder inside the TuneEcu app in the phone. So I need to do that before I connect to the bike, and then I can upload from there. Okay, back again. Now I've got Mark's ECU plugged into my bike. I've started the engine and made sure that my bike runs with his ECU before we do anything else, and it does. Just a quick word of warning: if you're doing an upload to the ECU, as in a file change, and it becomes disconnected, it's possible to damage the ECU where it won't take the code, it won't take the maps, and yeah, you may render the ECU inoperative. So you do need to be careful. To that end, I loop my cable around the frame here before I plug it in. So I leave the bike disconnected before I plug into my device, which is my Sony phone, and when it wakes up, there we go, and I connect to the phone first, but in case the phone moves or I drop something, at least the cable will not become disconnected while the bike's doing uploads or communicating. So that's a good point to watch out for. Alright, so I shall connect to the phone. And wake up the TuneEcu app. You can see it's on the map screen there. I'll change that to connect in a moment. Now I'll plug in and you'll hear the second throttle butterfly cycle as in open, and there's a loop wire within our adapter that keeps the ECU live whether the key is on or not. I do turn the key on, but if you don't have that loop wire between two of the pins, then the ECU will go back to sleep while you're working. So that's to keep the ECU alive. So I'll connect there now. I need my right hand to do that. Both hands to do that. Sorry about the noise. You hear the fuel pump run and then turn off. You can see that the OBD reader is lit, and I'll now connect. Now back to asking for Bluetooth. Some devices will ask for a Bluetooth connection. Obviously it's a cable and you don't want that. You'll say deny. Bluetooth is not enabled. Okay, so this is a good teaching point. It's annoying, but you may have to go into your settings of your device and look for connections. When I find them, device connection, and in my particular version of Android I've got Android 7.1. USB connectivity, detect a USB device. Okay, it's now popped up the warning finally from TuneEcu, used by default, which I checked last time. Always use this device. Now I'll reconnect with the bike. I had to disconnect from the bike. It's now plugged in. Plug in our OBD2 reader and say OK. Now hopefully we should go through. Device connected. I should see ECU connect. Right, so you can see you've got the little blinking light down here. It's now reading files from the bike. You can see 13 volts come up, so we've got good battery. It does take a while to cycle through and actually connect. Alright, so we've got our live dash now. One thing I like to check is this TPS setting. It's actually 0 at closed throttle. Reads 100% at full throttle. That way you know the sensor is reading correctly. And what you should also see is a nice smooth progression through where it doesn't dip low at any one point if you roll it through slowly. And back down again. So you're expecting that to fall as you close it. It shouldn't jump up when you're going down or down when you're going up. Okay, so I've now transferred the file across into the logs folder of the TuneEcu app. So I now open up my app again, click on Map, Open, and you can now see there two files, one for the E60 for the 449 up to 2011 and E61 for the 511 up to 2011. So now I can go ahead and connect to the bike, which I'll come back to in a second. Now what I have to do here, you can see down in the bottom left corner there the E60 map. That's my previous map, my Acro for 449. So what I need to do is open up Map, open on the top file there, open, and you can see the E61 file there. I'll open that and then click on it. So you can now see bottom left corner has changed, E61 VD 180 underscore AOO. That is the 511 TE 2011 file. I'll now go to ECU, reprogram. It gives me a warning about the wrong values for the bike. I've checked that our VIN number matches our file that we're going to upload, so that's correct, and it's also in a white frame bike ready to load. Press OK. Just having a bit of a think about it all. You can see the red light down the bottom corner there, so basically don't disconnect while that red light's reading. Okay, reprogramming in progress. Takes a little while to throw the codes in there, or the maps in there. You might be able to hear the fuel pump cycling in the background. Click OK. And the bike should now have the correct map installed. So if we scroll across, okay, now we're back to live data again. TPS percent, voltages, map sensors, back to live data. It's all reading correctly again. So now that we're happy that it's correct, we go to ECU, disconnect, and we get the goodbye signal, and we're able to then arrow out, do I want to exit? Yes. And the bike shut down in the background, and we disconnect from, key off and disconnect from the ECU. Final check, key on, and confirm bike starts after the upload. Job complete. Now fitted with Acro Map